This is no longer our battle. I tried fighting you. It can't be done.
Could you really rest for all of eternity, knowing that you had the chance to stop him, but did nothing?
Hello everybody, this is Snarist, and welcome back to the channel and the continuation of my Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor no upgrade run, and this is part 4, the Spirit of Mordor, and we're going to be helping Ratbag ascend to becoming a Uruk captain. And I think it's now time that I sort of drop the subject matter that I was talking about before about tourism and franchises and how everything slowly erodes and fades away, and how worried I am about the up-and-coming God of War trilogy remake, whether that's another year or two away, at the very least another year before we get some footage to show what it looks like now. So I'd rather focus a bit more on the present right now, and there's going to be a few videos here and there that are going to be a little bit lengthy, like around 15 minutes or so, but the vast majority of these are going to be quick and snappy, because this game isn't very long at all, and this challenge run isn't as challenging as you think it is. So, as far as this game goes, Shadow of Mordor was my favourite game to come out of 2014. Like, Wolfenstein The New Order was definitely close, but that game definitely got pretty old for me pretty fast. But Shadow of Mordor is a legitimately great game. I still think Shadow of War is the better game, but this is paced much better. It's just nice and snappy. If I want to run into an open world game where the open world isn't really that big, but it still feels very, very small because you can run so far through it, and the movement's so great, and it's basically just, a Lord of the Rings Assassin's Creed game, but better Assassin's Creed than Assassin's Creed has ever been, pretty much. And with the legendary Nemesis System, that WB have still patented and won't let anyone else use it, which is a really big shame, because it could do so much for so many other open world games, but they're just not letting other people do it, and it's so fucking shit. But yeah, Shadow of Mordor is a great game. I can clear all the side objectives, I can do all the trophies and everything, and I can do it in less than 20 hours, and it's a great game to get into as well. If you've never played this before, you really owe it to yourself to try. Because The Lord of the Rings is probably my favourite franchise in anything ever. I love the movies, I grew up watching them, just quiet weekends where I'll just literally sit on the bed and, lie back and just watch on my TV, the original trilogy. And these were theatrical releases before I got the extended editions when I was a little bit older, and seeing all the changes and being ecstatic over it, and now I can barely watch The Lord of the Rings any other way. Like, every once in a while I'll pop onto YouTube to see either reactions I've already seen before, or someone's new reactions, because there's always someone out there who hasn't seen Lord of the Rings yet. And every one of them has never failed to make me cry at least once or twice. The Return of the King definitely makes me bawl like a baby like nothing else does. Like, if I ever need to feel something or I'm having a down day, I just go and I watch like a bit of Return of the King or a few clips here and there that are my favourite from the movie, and it just gets me in a much better mood. And it just makes me think, like, despite my rather positive outlook on things here and there, I am a pretty deeply cynical person, and so seeing something like Lord of the Rings and giving me hope for, mankind and what we can all accomplish if we work together, and standing up against evil, but then you see what kind of world we're living in and just how evil it can be. Especially recently, where I've been slowly going over in my own time all the stuff that's coming out about the Epstein files, about how him and his cronies are basically, not only, of course, fucking kids, but they're also like capturing them and cutting them up and turning them into meat that they eat. They drink their blood. They're even like invading schools and taking their schools pictures of the kids and using them as like a manifesto to target children that they want to do something with on their island. It's just fucking sick. And like, everyone can agree with that, but then the moment you try to bring it up or suggest any sort of like firm action, even the most hardcore like protective of people just don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want anything to do with it. And I think it's real fucking scummy that they don't. And it's very telling, isn't it, that people's empathy only stretches so far. Like, funnily enough, I've stopped caring about so many other people, and it's even getting so bad to the point where I'm seeing hypocrisy within my own family and friends everywhere I look, and every time I listen to them open their mouths. But just to see everyone else just have a general lack of care when it really comes down to it, it's really sad.
Here is a powerful tool, Talion.
But in any case, if you noticed the transition a little bit before, about a minute earlier, when I was following Ratbag and we get to this fortress here, I actually failed in getting spotted, and then everyone else got spotted. And the problem is with this game is that when you get into a combat situation, you can't kill them fast enough, and so everyone gets alerted, and then, you know, it kind of slowly cascades and everything opens up, and then I failed, so I had to start again. But if you just stick to the right hand side and you follow them along, and you've got to be a bit faster to stop other patrolling Uruks from getting towards them, so you can take them out one at a time, and then you just climb up to the buildings on the right hand side, and you know, you find the Karagor tamer Goroth right here, and so you can hop on the tower there and you can go ahead and release the Karagors. And if you do that in the position that I was in, then you can set the Karagors loose on all the other Uruks, but Goroth will run away from the Karagor and he'll be on the edge of the outpost here. And so you'll get a lot of these Uruks that are away from him, because that's always the problem with these Uruk captains and warchiefs, is that they're surrounded by tons of enemies. And so as soon as you kill Goroth, you're pretty much safe for the rest of the mission. But yeah, if you can, you want to definitely try to isolate the other captains and warchiefs, because you'll see a couple of videos in the future where the videos go on for much longer, and it's more or less just me trying to bait them into a scenario where I can take them by themselves or get the drop on them. But I'll get more to that when we come to it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next part.
First I'm resurrected by a wraith, now I am working with an